Welcome back to Candy's Classic Game Shrine, everyone. Today I'm going to go over my Pokemon collection. I've been getting a lot of messages lately from people asking if I can show what I have in it, so let's get started. We'll start from the top here. I have a Pokemon poster of the original 151 here. Got that from GameStop. We have Swole Pikachu. I got this from a friend. We have Detective Pikachu. A little Mew model that I put together, a Game Boy Color pouch here, a hat that I made for New York Comic Con one year when I cosplayed as one of the Pokemon trainers. Here is the 20th anniversary GameStop exclusive Mew plushie. That's a mouthful. Down here we have my N64 games and some figures and things like that. We have the Pokemon stadiums mostly at the top. We have Puzzle League, Hey You Pikachu, Snap, and then here we have the 3 Japanese Pokemon stadiums. Yes, that's correct. There are 3. So there were 2 Pokemon stadiums that were released, and then there was a Pokemon stadium. Let's not even get into that complicated stuff. We'll move on. So here we have one of the dioramas that I made based on the anime episode Charmander, the Stray Pokemon, where he gets attacked by the Spearow and rescued by Ash. This was one of my first couple of dioramas that I made. Over here we have the Charizard nesting dolls and some Charizard evolution figures. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but cute little Pez dispensers. On this shelf we have some more artwork, and this will be the Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games from both the American and Japanese regions. So over here we have your red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, pinball. Then you have the card game, puzzle challenge, and then onto the Game Boy Advance games, which were Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and then Mystery Dungeon Red Team, and then the Ruby Sapphire Pinball. Now over here, you'll find these Game Boy Advance games. They're not really games. These are really compressed videos of different episodes of Pokemon. You can see which ones are on which. They were really cool at the time, but nowadays they're not so great. They're in English, but the rest of these games going up are Japanese. So you have the pinball, green, red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal. This one is their trading card game. This is the sequel to the trading card game that was only released in Japan. This is Puzzle Challenge, and then that's all I have for the Japanese Game Boy games. I didn't bother with the Japanese Game Boy Advance games. Now down here, oh, you know what? I almost forgot this cute little Charmander. How can I forget? I just want to tickle his little feet. He was a gachapon figure that I found online and I fell in love with. This is a little tea light Pokeball thing that my husband bought me. And this is a little glass Pokeball with Mew etched inside. There's supposed to be a light that goes underneath that makes it show up better, but the battery died and I need to replace it. Back here is a missing node that I did that's supposed to be pixel perfect to the one in the Game Boy. And it took me forever to make, but I love it. And yes, this says Ash. I know it's supposed to be red, but it was part of a shadow box that I made for when I was playing this as a kid, and I didn't know any better, so shh. Down here we have some weird Japanese DS and 3DS games, some toys, and regular DS and 3DS games here. So I'll start at the top. We have Perler Bead, Blue, Red, and Oak. We have a little Mew figure. We have a Pokeball belt that I used as part of my cosplay years ago. This is a Tamagotchi holder that somebody crocheted into a little Togepi. I have some miscellaneous cards here, nothing special, just Pokemon that I thought were cute. So, making a mess. There we go. So over here we have a Pokemon trading card game for the DS. This is only released in Japan. It's not quite what you think. It's similar to the one on the Game Boy, but the ones on the Game Boy didn't come with full decks of cards, a playmat, tokens, and all of that stuff. If everybody's interested, I can make a separate video on the contents of that box. or you can just look on YouTube for somebody who probably understands it better and does a better job than me explaining it. Underneath here, we have Learn with Pokemon Typing Adventure. This is in English, however, this was not released in the United States. This was released in the European market and the Japanese market. I bought the European one so that I could enjoy it and play it, which I do enjoy it. I grew up with Mario Teaches Typing, and this is an upgrade from that. So if you have kids that want to learn how to type, it's worth picking that up because it's region free and you can play it. Down here is the Japanese 3DS version of Pokemon Tretta, which is a arcade game, which you can see on the box here. And what you do is you get these tokens and this adapter for your 3DS, and you train these tokens similar to how you would Amiibo for Smash Brothers. And you can battle these Pokemon in the game, or you can take them to the arcade, insert these chips that you've trained up, and use those Pokemon at the arcade as well. It comes with some chips, doesn't come with all of them. You can even buy more of them online too, on like eBay and stuff. Down here you have the Tiger Electronics Pokemon Pokédex from the 90s. Let me open this up so you folks can see. Pretty sure I still have batteries in this. Yep, there we go. My dad bought me this years ago and it's treasured. So down here we have some 3D printed stands that I made for the various Pokemon accessories. We have the Pokemon Pikachu, the Pikachu 2, the Pokemon Mini. I did a backlight mod on this, and I also have the Ditto Mini Flash Cart. Let me show you. If you can get your hands on one, well worth it. And then over here we have one of my Pokewalkers. This one I don't have in the box. The other one I do have in the box. This here is the Pokeball Plus, and again, 3D printed stands. We have the Silly Psyduck and Detective Pikachu from the movie. And up here we have my DS games, which I have them all, so you can just take a peek. I won't read them off because there's so many. And then we'll move down and we'll show you my 3DS, or continued DS and 3DS games. Now over here I have a 3D printed Lavender Town that I painted, and a 3D printed Cubone skull to kind of match the mood there. On this shelf we have a Shadow Mewtwo amiibo card from the original Pokken tournament. And this is a mixture of the CD-based systems and Switch games. So these are the GameCube ones here, Wii U, and then the rest are Switch. So we'll go through here. There's Pokemon Channel, Pokemon Box, Gale of Darkness, Coliseum, and the Coliseum bonus disc. We've got Battle Revolution, Poke Park, which is a really cute and fun game, Poke Park 2, Pokken Tournament, and then the Switch game for Pokken Tournament. Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, Sword and Shield. This is Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, new Pokemon Snap, the new Diamond and Pearl, and Legends. I can't wait for the new ones. I have those pre-ordered and I'm excited to get them. We have Detective Pikachu up here. That is just such a massive and unnecessarily large amiibo. I don't get why they did that. But okay, here we have a custom amiibo that I did for the Pokemon 20th anniversary. This was the first custom amiibo I ever did with a box. So it's a little crude. Let me see if I can turn it around. And what else do we have on this shelf? We also have cute little Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu flocked figures. I have a 3D printed Hisuian Pokeball, I think I said that correct, and a little 3D printed stand that I made for it. Here is the Eeveelution Tamagotchi. Well, this is one of the two. I missed out on getting the pink one, and trying to buy them now is just ridiculous, so I'll live with it. It's really cute. You get a bunch of different evolutions. This is just the back. It's in Japanese. And depending on how you care for it, you get a different evolution. This is a custom Pokemon card that I had made. This was using artwork that I created for the idea for a Mega Mew evolution. Let's see if I can get this without the shine on it so you folks can read it. And the back is just a normal card. I don't play the trading card game, but I thought it was really cool that somebody asked my permission to make my artwork into a card. And of course I had to have one. And now down here are what I can only call computer programs. They're not games. Basically, imagine Print Shop Deluxe. If you don't know what that is because of your age, it was a program that you could basically make posters and banners and stickers and cards that were using pre-made templates. But this is basically the same thing with Pokemon. And then it came with Shrinky Dink paper on top of that, which was a bonus. I do want to install them on my Windows 95 PC over there, but I just haven't had the time. Over here we have the Prima official strategy guide for Pokemon Red and Blue. This thing was like a Bible for me as a kid. And this kind of was too. I had this book and I drew every single Pokemon that was in it freehand, about like this big, cut them all out and kept them in an envelope that I decorated with like Pokeballs and stuff on it, but it's been long lost, which makes me really sad. But what else is down here is the very first diorama that I've ever done. This was a very broken Game Boy that I decided to use to help revive one of my original Game Boys at home. And I turned the shell into this diorama here because it was rough. This was after a lot of scrubbing and trying to save it. But this is what started it all. It happened on March 28th, 2019. And next to it, we have this little Peekaboo custom amiibo I made. Peekaboo was considered to be a Pokegod of yesteryear. If you don't know what it is, I suggest you look it up. It's a fun rabbit hole to go down. Over here is a diorama that I made using a melted Game Boy shell that was sent to me from somebody on Reddit years ago. Let me lift this and turn it upside down. You can see how melted and warped this is. There was no saving this, so it's not like I was killing a Game Boy making that into what it is. I decided, given the state of it, there wasn't much that I can do, so I took expanding foam and made what looked to me like a mountain scene where they were just having a battle on top. Now over here are more of my custom amiibo that are just, you know, shiny Charizard. We have clone Charizard from the first movie with a little clone Pokeball. We have Mega Charizard Y. And we have Mega Charizard X. I need to fix the flame on this cheek because it fell off, but the other one is there still. And that is it for like my games and my little artworks and things. I have some posters throughout my room, as you can see here and over here. You'll find this next to my 3D printer table. So there's pretty much Pokemon everywhere you look in my room. You can't escape it. So that's right, there's more. Let's get on to the plushies. All right, here is my chain of plushies. This is from just about anything here, not just Pokemon. Up here, we have this cute little Golbat Pikachu that I got from the New York's Pokemon Center years ago. As we go down, we see a little Turtwig. And as we go through, we find Rayquaza just snaking his way throughout. And then we have a snowman Chespin. And I can never pronounce this Pokemon's name correctly, so I'm not going to try. This little electric hamster thing. Mouse, hamster. We have yet another Mew plushie. And let's make our way to another Mew plushie. This is the Laughing Mew from the I Heart Mew series. Going further down, we have a Chimchar. We have this Arceus plush. He has no right to be as soft as he is. Okay. Going further down, we have, oh my gosh, his name is escaping me right now. It's okay, you can crucify me in the comments for forgetting his name. Scorbunny. We have Ditto. This one was actually a handmade plushie that I had for that cosplay for the New York Comic Con. Here we have, gosh, another one. I can't remember his name now because it's escaping me. It's okay. Get at me in the comments about that. We have Sobble. We have the Substitute plush. We have a really fluffy Pikachu. And we have a Piplup. So yeah, those are all of my plushies. And that is all of my Pokemon stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if there's anything you want to see specifically, let me know. And until next time, guys, take care.